It's 8 CST on the 10th of September 2025. In the South China Sea, 180 miles from China's coast, USS Princeton suddenly picks up multiple unknown tracks. Alarms blare through the ship. Sailors slam hatches and sprint to battle stations. The CIC glows red as radar operators call bearing and range. Outside, Chinese J-15 roar past, banking low and close. A harsh tone cuts in. A Type 52D destroyer has snapped fire control radar onto USS Nimitz. On the deck, a Hawkeye spins, Super Hornet spool, a Growler checks jammers. Below, the Aegis console chirps SPY-1DV paints the sky as contacts multiply. Link 1-6 flashes with calls from escorts, each tagging threats. A rivet joint reports new emitters. Yellow shirts on Nimitz, wave jets forward. The captain's voice stays level. Weapons tight, countermeasures ready. Everyone knows this is one step from a shootout. The next minutes decide if the carrier group holds sea room or slides into a clash no one can control. In the South China Sea, the stakes go far beyond steel on the water. These lanes carry fuel, food, and raw materials that keep daily life running back home. Every day, thousands of cargo ships pass through, and their safety underwrites the global economy. USS Princeton and the carrier group are here to guard that flow, tasked with ensuring no one can shut down the sea lanes through intimidation. For the crew, it's not just another patrol, it's a test of resolve against China's push to claim control far beyond its coast. On paper, it's routine, but today the pattern is off. Fighters press low, a destroyer paints the carrier, and merchant traffic shears from the lane. If they fail, the impact is immediate. Insurance rates for shipping spike overnight. Shelves back home run thin as delays ripple across supply chains. Allies start to question if America can still secure the commons. In a region where perception equals power, losing face here is as damaging as losing a battle. That's why the fire control radar lock on Nimitz matters. It's more than a signal. It's a challenge to U.S. credibility. On one side, a U.S. carrier strike group, bristling with sensors, jets, and layered defense. On the other, China's Shandong carrier with her escorts, eager to show strength close to home. Each knows the other is watching every move. A wrong step can ignite a spiral neither side wants, but both are ready to fight. This is the reality. A clash here could redraw red lines for the entire Pacific. One wrong signal on crowded VHF can tilt caution into collision. And that's why your view matters too. If you think the US should stand firm, press 1. If you believe China's warning will force compromise, press 9. 8:12 CST. The first real contact arrives. Princeton's radar scopes bloom with fast-moving tracks. J-15 fighters cutting across the strike group's path. Their intent is clear. Press low, force mistakes, test reaction time. Controllers aboard Nimitz direct Super Hornets to intercept, but the fighters keep pushing closer, weaving between civilian ships. For the crew, every second is a calculation. Respond too slowly and you risk surprise. Too fast and you risk sparking war. The destroyer Kidd reports a sharp spike fire control radar locked again. This time, Princeton responds. The captain orders a show of readiness. Launch standard, defensive only. 2 SM, 2 arc skyward, exhaust burning white against the horizon. They're not aimed to kill, but to warn. This line will be held. Seconds later, Chung Hoon fires her own, spacing intercepts to build a wall. The message is clear, no gap, no hesitation. Overhead, an E-2D Hawkeye calls bogeys at 60 miles, 4J-15 break formation, diving toward the carrier. Growlers light their jammers, flooding the spectrum with noise to blind Chinese radars. Pilots call Fox 2 as AIM-9X missiles streak away, contrails twisting. The sky flashes as flares spit from J-15. 2 peel off, but the others press, skimming low to mock the defenses. Inside Princeton CIC, sailors lean into consoles as the SPY-1DV updates every second. Bearings shift, altitude drops, speed fluctuates. They're probing, the watch officer mutters. The captain nods. Hold them outside the ring. It's not about shooting first, it's about proving you won't break. At 8:19, Sonar cuts through the chatter. A faint contact possible submarine. Shallow, northeast. It surfaces briefly, a snorkel flashing before sliding back under. The group tightens formation, escorts guarding the flanks. A Virginia-class submarine, lurking unseen, rises 6 miles from China's Shandong in silent counterpoint, surfacing just enough to be noticed. The message is blunt. Every threat you reveal, we can match. Explosions flicker at the horizon as intercepts detonate. Spray kicks up from near misses. Smoke lingers in the sky. The first exchange ends with no loss, but the air crackles with the sense this is only the beginning. 8:27 CST. The sky thickens with movement. More J-15 launch from Shandong, their shadows sweeping the sea. Princeton's radar feet stack high with tracks, so dense they blur into noise. The ship turns a few degrees, tightening its profile. Every shift matters. A smaller angle means harder targeting and better defensive arcs. On the carrier, flight ops surge deck crews race to clear launches. Jets scream as afterburners ignite. Several fighters push through the missile screen, flying low and erratic. Princeton fires again, this time SM-6, designed for longer reach and faster kill. One intercepts clean, exploding near the lead jet. The others scatter, forcing the group to divide fire. Kids' guns open up, tracers ripping into the haze. Each volley buys seconds, but the pressure builds. Electronic warfare joins the fight. Growlers jam aggressively, sweeping the spectrum. For a moment, Chinese radars flicker, their lock-ons breaking, but the relief is brief. New signals appear, stronger, pulsing from the destroyer, shadowing the formation. The contest is no longer just steel and missiles, it's sensors against sensors, silence against deception. Inside Princeton CIC, the pace grows frantic. Operators juggle tracks, shouting ranges and altitudes. Too many at once, one mutters, sweat streaking his headset. The captain steadies the room. Trust the system. Stay on your sector. It's the only way to stop chaos from unraveling discipline. At sea level, the threat shifts. A Chinese Yuan-class submarine surfaces briefly at the edge of sonar range, then vanishes. The message is deliberate. We're here. We can strike. Princeton responds with a sharp active ping, echo rolling across the deep, a challenge as clear as any missile launch. Minutes grind on. Each intercept feels like holding a dam against floodwaters. One mistake, and the wall breaks. From the bridge, sailors glimpse flashes as jets dart overhead. Missiles split the sky, and ocean spray coats the bow. The clash is now layered air above, subs below, radars screaming across the spectrum. The balance hangs on perception. Will the U.S. crews show resolve or crack under pressure? That's the heart of this standoff. And that's why your view matters. Should the U.S. press harder, hit back first, press 1. If you think restraint avoids disaster, press 9. 8:41 CST. Just as the strike group steadies, the fight shifts. Radar screens bloom with smaller, faster tracks, low-altitude drones, dozens of them skimming just above the sea. They hug the surface, weaving through clutter, their signatures faint. These are not manned jets that can be deterred, but machines programmed to fly until impact. Princeton's crew reacts fast. SM-6 are too costly to waste, so the captain orders close-in defense. Kidd swings her guns, tracers stitching across the horizon. Princeton rolls slightly, mounts locking on. Several drones explode, but more dive forward. They don't maneuver, they simply persist. Growlers jam control links, but many drones ride GPS and inertial guidance. They won't blink or turn. Operators shout bearings, range 2 miles, closing fast. Seconds shrink the margin. On Nimitz, Super Hornets launch to thin the swarm. Pilots firing cannon bursts into the haze. Flaming wrecks splash down, but waves keep pressing. Every intercept costs fuel, ammo, and time. Princeton's helmsman carves tight S-turns to spoil attack geometry, while deck crews, stage hoses, and foam carts. Damage control teams dog hatches, bracing for shrapnel and fire. The Hawkeye vectors a growler to a fresh emitter. A rivet joint hears control burst from inland striking. Those nodes would cross a line no one wants to cross. Inside the CIC, urgency spikes. The captain calls, Prepare CIWS. The Gatling gun thunders, a torrent of fire ripping drones apart. Wreckage rains into the sea, yet more slip through. The tactic is clear drain U.S. defenses with disposable swarms, force billion-dollar ships to burn costly shots. The twist is undeniable. This is not just a clash of ships and jets, but a war of strategy. Each drone down proves defense works, but each wave forces the question: how long can the line hold before the balance tips? 8:55 CST. The fight hits its breaking point. The drone swarm, thinned but not broken, slips inside the last defensive ring. Princeton's crew braces as alarms scream. The ship heels to starboard, shrinking its profile. Every turn buys seconds. Above, Super Hornets tangle with J-15, tracers stitching frantic arcs across the sky. "Sizz, engage!" The Gatling gun answers with a grinding buzz, a river of tungsten ripping the low clouds. Drones pop in hot bursts, fragments hissing into the sea. Kid joins, guns hammering in counterpoint. For a minute, it's pure noise and shock, steel meeting speed. One drone gets through. It dives low, wake foaming. Princeton's forward guns swing, shells burst short. The drone keeps coming seconds now. Damage. Control teams crouch, hoses and foam ready. A last CIWS burst shreds it. Wreckage slaps the waves short of the bow. A cheer rises, then cuts off. Everyone knows another wave could already be forming. At altitude, Growlers blind enemy radars, while Hawkeyes call vectors. Hornet strike. One J-15 blooms into fire. Another falls trailing smoke. The rest scatter from the kill zone. For a breath, the picture steadies. Below, sonar catches a hard echo possible torpedo transient. The Virginia-class sub-signals ready, holding Shandong at risk. Balance tightens. Carrier against carrier, fighter against fighter, sub against sub. Any misstep could flip this from standoff to shooting war. On the bridge, the captain's voice cuts through. "Hold the line! We do not break!" Sailors white-knuckle rails. Discipline, not volume, keeps order. Spray lashes the bow. Crews reload. Radars sweep. Links hum. For now, the formation holds. Smoke thins. Link 1-6 settles into a clean rhythm. Nimitz cycles a fresh cap. Yellow shirts. Sprint refuels and reloads. Princeton's SPY-1D clears to fewer red tracks and wider gaps. Electronic noise fading. Off the beam, Shandong edges back behind her escorts. Angles shifting just enough to say the moment is passing for now. The message is restraint with claws. Both sides show teeth, neither crosses the line. This climax strips the conflict to its core. Layered US defenses versus relentless Chinese pressure. Deterrence measured second by second. Your call. Now, if America's firepower keeps the sea open, press 1. If China's persistence will crack the line in the next round, press 9. Result: the planned group checks fire, then backs off. The destroyer drops its lock. J-15 seconds climb home. The Yuan-class slides into quiet water. Minutes later, Shandong turns downwind, recovers aircraft, and broadcasts, "Exercise completed." Princeton steadies on course. No American hull is hit. No sailor is hurt. No one celebrates. They list why they lived. Layered sensors, disciplined comms, timing, and E-2D knit the picture. Growlers shaved hostile radars. Link 1-6 kept every ship on the same beat. One shock move mattered most. A U.S. Virginia-class sub surfacing 6 miles off. Shandong right as the air fight peaked. A silent line drawn in steel. For Washington, the shield works, but the math hurts. SM 2 seconds and SM 6 seconds are finite. CIWS runs hot, fuel and focus drain together. Cheap drones force costly shots and long hours. Magazines don't refill at sea. The group held because crews moved with trust and tempo. Stretch the fight and resupply becomes the plan. For Beijing, pressure moved the board without crossing it. Exercise completed, reads mild, yet it lands in ministries from Manila to Tokyo. Each lock-on and close pass raises the bill for open sea lanes, even when no shot is fired. Allies and insurers watch the tape. Rates tick up, routes bend, planners sketch alternates through narrower straits. Deterrence holds by inches, maintained by sailors counting missiles, as carefully as pilots count minutes on station. Impact. The carrier group keeps sea room. China keeps face by leaving first. The crew logs, contacts, patches, scorched paint near the forward gun, tallies what's left in the lockers. Nimitz resumes a steady drumbeat launch. Recover, refuel. SPY-1D shows a cleaner horizon, but nobody confuses quiet with safe. Next tease. The sequel won't match the script. The next wave could come at night, under rain, doubled in size, masked by militia trawlers. It may mix drones with shore-based missiles and decoys, then GPS, jam the picture. If you think this withdrawal proves deterrence is working, press 1. If it's only a pause before the next push, press 9. Drop your number and subscribe for the next chapter.